Hello, VC. Got a few vinyl pieces to show you. Picked up quite a few albums and some singles. So start off with the 7-inch singles I picked up fairly recently. Picked up this two-tone single. Um, it is Ghost Town Specials. Picked this up for about £5 it was, and yeah, it's like a really well looked after single. This one, very clean. No scratches or anything. So yeah, saw it in the my second-hand record shop I go to, and I thought, I'm taking that one home. This one as well, Mike Oldfield, the Dulce Jubilo. It's a Christmas number in the mid 70s. My mum had this. I think it was on a cassette, and I've always liked it. It's always one of the Christmas songs she used to put on at the time, and so when I saw it, um, sort of in the cheap um, bins, I think it was outside the shop for like 25p or something like that. I thought, I'll take that one home. It's a bargain for that sort of price. Um, I like picking up Christmas singles and sort of leaving them around in my collection where I can sort of get easy access to them, because when Christmas happens and I can just quickly dig them out and play them, it's nice. Um, Picked up this single on eBay. Um, I think it was anything between £5 to £10, something like that, and really nice single. Um, Bit of a guilty pleasure, um, for reasons you would understand. Have you watched my videos and follow me in the last few years? It's Postman Pat. The song, of course, from the BBC TV series. It's a lovely, lovely song, isn't it? It is. It's just a sweet kind of melodic tone. It's friendly. It's bubbly. These TV themes, Postman Pat and Thomas the Tank Engine, are so well put together. I mean, they really are. I mean, it's brilliance. It is really brilliance. It's memorable. It's classic, and I love it. I absolutely love it, to be honest with you. And I was impressed with the B side as well. Made me sort of laugh. B side being the Handyman song, um, and the character, of course, Ted Glenn. And yeah, it just made me laugh, and yeah, it brings a smile to your face, doesn't it? I picked this one up, this Joan Baez, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. This was a cheapie for like 25p, and I thought, I'd pick that up for from my mate Ian, and I'll send it to him in the post. I know he likes his Joan Baez. So yeah, this one's for you, Ian. And this was a recent pickup. I saw this single. It was kind of like not in the typical 7-inch single pile. This was sort of in a separate pile, like the more expensive 7-inch singles. And I saw it. I thought, I've got to get that. I've got to get that. And it reminded me of my father, because he was a big Kinks fan and he had a few of their singles. He may have had this one. I don't remember. I know he had Autumn Almanac and he had Sunny Afternoon, but he may not have had this one, or he might have done, but maybe it went missing or something. When I was sort of born, maybe it just disappeared somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he never even had it. But I saw the sleeve and I thought, I've got to get that. For all sorts of reasons, nostalgic. Um, my father, big influence for me of his music taste growing up. and the fact that it's probably the finest song ever. Yeah, I'm putting it out there. Certainly of the 60s, anyway. And that is Waterloo Sunset. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. And the record is amazing. This is 1967, over 50 years old, and look at this. Look at it. Marvellous. And yeah, delighted to have that. Picked up a few 12-inch singles as well. I like Jimmy Now, and there's not a lot of vinyl on Jimmy Now. There's some sort of stuff from the early 80s and early 90s you can pick up on vinyl, but sort of like the albums what I really love, like Big River, you can't get on vinyl. So I thought, I'm going to get this. It was like £2, and I could always have a bit more Jimmy Now in the collection. And this is Love Don't Live Here Anymore. It's the extended version, 1985. I know he had a number one. I'm not sure if this was one of them. I think his number one came later in the early 90s. But maybe this could have been number one. Maybe it should have been. Picked up Dire Straits, Brother in Arms, the full-length version, which was a nice little find. So yeah, classic song of a classic album. Absolutely adore this 90s hit, Crystal Waters, Gypsy Woman. I know I got a 7-inch version of it. Thinking about it, I may actually have this record, this 12-inch version as well. I wasn't 100%. I was kind of 50-50. I thought, you know what? Why not? I'll just get it. If I have it in my collection, then I have it. I'll just accept it. So I bought this. So this may be a second copy. The thing is, when you collect vinyl and you accumulate quite a bit of it, it's hard to remember what you do have, because we don't always stick to our vinyl collections as our only source of music. We go other places, iTunes or CDs or cassettes or different places, and it's hard to remember every single thing you have on what format you have it on. And so there you go. I'm sure I'm not the only one who struggles to remember what they have, but however, great song, great single. And I picked up this Brian Ferry, big Brian Ferry fan on Roxy Music, and saw this and thought, yeah, I'm gonna put this in with my compilation I have, so I can sort of pair them up, marry them up together. So yeah, Brian Ferry, Let's Stick Together, a 1988 extended remix. It also has Shame 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 on there, and side 2 is Angel Eyes 12-inch mix, and Trash as well. So yeah, the great Brian Ferry. So always a pleasure picking up Brian Ferry on vinyl. This is an album which has always been recommended in the VC, and I was talking to a friend of mine, a work colleague who was in the record shop at the same time, and I pointed out this album. And I said, "This is supposed to be quite a good album, is it not?" And he said, "Yeah, that's a very good album," and that is The Pretenders. So yeah, I've gone on a bit of a 70s binge with this one. So yeah, and this is relatively cheap record to buy. You pick this up for about £5. I paid £6, but yeah, about £5-6 you can pick this up for, and it's apparently it's a very good album. I've not actually listened to it yet, but this is what I've heard, so I'm tending to believe that is true. So yeah, moving on. I managed to find in the record shop um, a the first Bee Gees album, and yeah, I've not actually heard this. I know New York Mining Disaster 1941. I'm familiar with that track, but the rest of the songs on here I don't particularly know. This is a 60s album, so I'm expecting it to be pretty psychedelic, going by the album cover, sort of psychedelic illustrations on there. So I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, on the back of it, look how sort of dated and stained the card has got. You can tell it's an oldie. Got the receipt in there. I tend to keep the receipts for things I buy. I stick the receipts in the back, so I want a bit of reference to what I paid for something. I look at the receipts. So I don't know if anyone else does that. Probably just me. But there you go. Yeah, Bee Gees first. And also in the store, my friend he pointed out another album which I've not heard before. I know the group, but I don't have too many of their records. And he said it's in great condition and it is a brilliant album, Simon. You should buy it. And it was quite reasonably priced, about £10. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, why not? So and that is the Rhythmics in the Garden. Apparently, you don't see it around too often. So yeah, nice to pick this up. It's in excellent condition. It really is. I'm not sure the camera can really do records justice, but nice and kind of crisp corners. There's a shine to it. Yeah, really, really lovely. So yeah, glad to have this and give it a listen. This is the first album, the debut album, after the Tourists. So I'm guessing it's quite melodic. So I like a bit of melodic. So there you go, a Eurythmics album, and along with that Postman Pat single I picked up, I had to buy the album on eBay as well. It's not just the single; I wanted the albums, and I paid about a tenner for this one. It's Postman Pat, the songs and music from the television series. I mean, how nostalgic is this? And so yeah, on the back of it, it's quite a nicely kept record. It's not perfect. It's got a bit of a blemish here, and they packed it in like a thin cardboard sleeve with no sort of inserts to protect it, and it got bent. The album got bent in one of the corners. I think it's this corner. It got quite bent, and I was that annoyed me a bit because I paid quite a bit for it. In the condition it was supposed to be. I think they said excellent condition, so that kind of dampened it a bit. But hey ho, I know these things happened. I just wish people would properly, proper, properly pack records. They must know that records that they're going to take a bit of a battering. The fragile. Please do more. Do more, people. Put some inserts in there. Put it in a proper envelope which can look after it a bit better. Because this stuff it gets battered around. Believe me, it doesn't get looked after very well. It's just a company which deals with thousands of items. These things get bashed around, put in bags. Please do more. Look after these records. But anyway, so looking on the back, we've got Postman Pat, of course, Jess the Cat, Walking in Greendale, Mobile Shop, Reverend Timmed, Travelling Music. Side 2, we have the Handyman song, of course, Ted Glenn, Valley Waltz, Miss Rebecca Hubbard, Farmer's Song, Greendale Jig, Dawn and the Countryside Waltz, and Busy Day. So yeah, all on there. And then of course we've got Pat and Jess on the front cover, look, with the Royal Mail van. So yes, moving on. This was an HMV Finds, $24.99. I went to find this sort of around about Christmas time, and it had gone, and I went in there again, HMV, my local HMV, and it was on the shelves again. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get it this time, and that is the Blue Tones, the single. It was reduced from $39.99 to $24.99, which is, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's £25. It is, I suppose, a little bit expensive for a record, but it's a great compilation. Don't have too much on the Blue Tones, so I'm glad to have this, and it's an exclusive vinyl limited edition. So I don't know what that entails exactly. But the songs on the back, we have Are You Blue or Are You Blind? Blue Tonic, Slight Return, which is a terrific song. Cut Some Rug. Side B is Marblehead Johnson. Solomon Bites the Worm. If, Sleazy Bed Track. Side C, this is 2-disc. 4-Day Weekend. Keep the Home Fires Burning. Also Philia, Mudslide. Side D is After Hours, Freeze Fried Pop, Dumb It Up, Persuasion, and the Blue Tones Big Score. So yeah, all on there. So good stuff. This was a record I recently picked up on vinyl. I've picked up a few copies in the past and put them down because of sometimes the booklet inside is a bit loose or it's torn. It's quite a heavy sleeve. Finding it in relatively good condition isn't always easy. I've put it off a few times. I've been told it's a classic album. I have it on CD, so I do know it relatively well, and it is a great album. But to have it on vinyl is something special, and of course that is Quadrophenia. So yeah, I finally get a copy of Quadrophenia on vinyl, and for £29, I mean, I was given a bit of a discount, I think, at the time. So I brought this and a few other bits and pieces. So I they took a few quid off. So less than £29. That's pretty good, really, isn't it, for Quadrophenia? I mean, I imagine this probably goes for a little bit more in some places, depending on the record and its condition. But I would say this is probably anything from maybe excellent condition, very good to excellent condition, possibly even near mint. But yeah, glad to finally get that on vinyl and add that to my Who collection. So yeah, jumping on quite a few number of years, a good maybe 30 years later down the line, 2003, March the year, Starsailor released Silence is Easy. I saw the advert on TV. I thought, I'm going to get that album. That's a great song. And so yeah, I ended up getting the album at the time, and then 20 more years later, it came out on vinyl for the first time, and I picked it up. So yeah, glad to have this. A band just outside of Manchester, I believe. So yes, James Walsh, James Selfox, Ben Bryan, and Barry Westhead. So yeah, Starsailor, and it's in turquoise vinyl. So yeah, glad to have a bit of the early 2000s into the vinyl collection. 2003. That's sort of a difficult year for collecting records because there was not a lot going in that year and around that sort of time, was there? The vinyl resurgence was more sort of like 2005 onwards, and it wasn't really in full swing. It was just sort of slowly coming back. So like vinyl in that sort of time, those early 2000s was very scarce. I mean, hence why it didn't even get released. So it's taken their new album to get their back catalogue pressed to vinyl, which fairly often is the case now, where that kind of has to happen. And I'm hoping maybe a few other artists might release new vinyl and have their back catalogue pressed to vinyl, like Starsailor did. So here's hoping. My first Ramones album. This was sat in the record shop for quite some time, and I was always kind of umming and ahhing of picking it up. I never quite did until now. Pulled the trigger on it finally, and that is Aminal Boy. I believe this is a bit late in their discography, and not maybe considered their best album. But you know, it costs a pretty penny still. You know, anything Ramones can yeah, it can be a bit pricey. On the Beggars Banquet label. So yeah, this is where I started. I do have a compilation actually on CD I picked up after I bought this, so I'm familiar with a few tracks on them now. Very short songs. Um, I like that. You know, I like short songs. It's short, punchy, to the point. Um, it's maybe not quite as punk as maybe their other albums. However, I'm pleased to have it in the collection. So there you go. Finally, I brought this just before Christmas. It's something I've never seen before. However, I love the original album, and to see this with a similar front cover and be one of my favourite bands as well, I thought, yeah, I've got to have that. And that is Oasis, The Naked Giants. So what this is it's compilation of some of their songs which make the Standing on Shoulders of Giants album, and some of the live tracks. It's 2 discs on white vinyl, which is nice. And yeah, just being the big Oasis fan that I am, and being it's a bit of a rarity, why not? You know, there's not many of these around either. I sort of quickly went on my phone to have a quick look. I think they did a different coloured variation to white. I think it might have been blue. I think they did, and this was a white one. You don't see them around too much, so it is a bit of an investment as well. It cost me 55 quid, which is yeah, it's not something I normally do pay. You know, when it's sort of over the 50 mark, then it's yeah, it's a bit expensive. But I saw it, I wanted it, it came home. So yeah, another great Oasis vinyl album I can add to my ever-growing Oasis collection, and I've got some more stuff to show regarding Oasis in a later video. But there you go, that is it. That is everything. As you can see, there's quite a lot there. You know, it's 24-minute video now, so better wrap it up. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, subscribing, supporting me over the years. It's much appreciated. I've got some more vinyl to show. Been quite a busy boy, picking up some really nice finds. I've got some really good deals actually recently. So until then, stay tuned to my next one, and see you again very soon next time around. Bye for now.